Hello, hello, hello. So super excited to be here. I know it's been, for those of you guys who are watching this live on Periscope or following me on Periscope, it has been a really long time since I've really gotten on Periscope. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is DeborahAcker. I work with truth. I work with living from truth and really moving from truth so that you can really step into and have the life that you are meant to have. So I want to talk to you. Many of you guys know my story around completing my corporate job in the last couple of weeks, and I really want to talk to you guys about this really cool awareness that I've had since leaving my job. And so really this is so interesting, right? So as I left my job and as I stepped into just sort of this world of really not having any sort of boxes to play in the corporate world, I started to notice how many different ideas I had around what each day of the week meant, right? And so I started to notice, like, I always had this anxiety or sort of like this icky feeling sort of as we were getting to Sundays, really sort of towards the end of Sunday, and then into, hello, how are you? So good to have you here. I'm so excited about what we're talking about today. Tell me your name, please. But yeah, so we're talking about really the whole way to look at your week, right? And oh, hi Catherine, how are you? Thanks so much for being here. Thank you. Basically what I'm talking about today is sort of coming from the corporate world and how I was looking at my weeks. And hello. Hi Jay, how are you? Oh, cool. Good to have you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you so much for inviting followers. I so appreciate it. So this is so awesome. Like, I can't wait to talk to you guys about this. I think it's so fascinating. I didn't even realize how much. Hi Cedric, thank you so much for joining. I so appreciate you being here. Hello. I'm so excited to have you guys all here. For those of you guys who are new to me, I am DeborahAcker and I am a truth coach. I work with people to help move towards more truth, to help them really step into and have whatever it is that they're looking to have in this lifetime. And so super cool. So a lot of you guys know my story, or some of you guys know my story around leaving my corporate job. And as I've left my corporate job, I realize that I have a lot of ideas around what my week looked like, right? And so as I would step into Sundays, I would be very like, okay, this is Sunday. And thank you so much for the heart, you guys. I really appreciate it. So as I would step into Sunday, I'd get kind of that anxiety towards Monday, right? And this was a conditioning that I had developed at a really young age, right? So I had thank you so much for joining at Fourth Wind 8890. Tell me your name, please. But so basically, I noticed that I would have, from when I was a kid, I would have this anxiety around Sundays going into Mondays, right? And would dread Mondays. Hello, thank you so much for joining. I'm like in and out. My voice has been in and out. It's very interesting. But hi Jason, thanks so much for being here. So glad to have you here. Thank you so much all for joining. I so appreciate you having here. Is it Delan? Thank you so much for joining. Pizza Man, that's a fun name. Do you like pizza? So basically, as I would go into my Sundays, I would get this anxiety, right? And then Mondays would be kind of that inner dread. And I started to realize all the boxes that I had around each day. Hi from Canada. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. Thanks, Jay. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that. So as I would kind of go into my week, I realized all the boxes that I had around different days of the week, right? And so Monday would be like that day of like dread and anxiety, and there would be this heaviness that I would carry into my week, right? So I would carry in this heaviness. I would carry in this icky feeling of like, oh, I don't want to go into my week, right? And so I started to really take in and notice, okay, oh my goodness, like I'm literally spending, I don't know, like several days of my week, like looking for Friday, like looking towards Friday, right? And pretty much had all these different ideas and all these different reframes around my week, right? All these different things. Exactly. Where is Friday? We're like, we get so conditioned from such an early age to really be focused and really be like looking at Friday. And it's like, so I started to do the math on that, right? And I was like putting together all the math. Yeah, it's such a common conditioning, right? It's so common for all of us. So, I started to, yeah, exactly. Thank God it's Friday. Exactly. Society, where we get really focused on like, let's get to Friday. Let's get to Friday. Let's get to Friday. And so I started to do the math on that. And it was like, literally like out of all the days of the week, so we have 7 days in the week, like there would be like, basically 2 days I'd be excited about. So 2 days of every week are the days that I'd be excited about, like Friday and Saturday, maybe Thursday night. Thursday night would be kind of like, I'm over that hump. I'm looking forward to Friday and Saturday. And then like Sunday would kind of start that whole cyclical pattern over again, right? And I work a lot with patterns. So as I stepped out of this corporate job, I started to really, thank you for saying that, Jay. I'm getting there too. I want to talk about TGIT. But really, I started to really look at like, oh my God, I have all these boxes on these different days. And you know what that means, guys? If we're really focused on 2 days, maybe 3 days of the week, that means basically like a third of our days, a third of all of our days of a whole year we're excited about. That means 2/3 of our days, that looks like Greek, which I'm sorry, I don't understand Greek. But, basically 2/3 of our days we're in dread of. And so like, this is so important. Like this blew my mind, right? Because here I am, yes, thank you so much, Dave. Thank you so much. So here I am in this crazy conditioning, of oh my God, here I am. I'm like, I do consciousness. That's all I do, right? And I realized as I stepped out of my corporate job, how that conditioning, it's been wired in us from when we were like kids. And now we're going into our everyday world and going like, oh my gosh, like 2/3 of my days I'm dreading. 2/3 of every day of every year I am dreading. Like that blew my mind, right? And so I'm going to put out a challenge, ask a question to you guys to kind of just get you guys thinking about this. Cause I get that we're all in different spaces, right? And I'm out of my corporate job. So it's really definitely dread the dread. Exactly. So, it's really easy for me to go, oh, well, it's each day is really great. But what can you do to make each day more pleasurable, right? There was, I love Jay for bringing this up, but so, a couple of weeks ago, how I've been feeling since I started my first job 4 months ago, love it. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so grateful to have you here. And I hope that this can help. And just in some way, this can help to Sarah, this can help at all to just help maybe just shift that in some way. Hi, Radio Control Trucker. Thank you so much for joining. So glad to have you here. So, basically, I want to put out this ask to you guys, just to get you guys thinking, if nothing else. What's one thing that you can do every day to start to shift that heaviness that we take into most days of our week, right? So, if there's anything that you can do to really start to shift that heaviness that we take into our weeks to make it more lighter, right? So maybe there's something fun you look forward to on Monday, right? Or maybe it's, just something that you can do to walk into work in that lighter feeling, in a lighter feeling. Can you make a choice that day to have some gratitude for what's around you? But whatever you can do to start to reshift those ideas, because we are not meant to live 1/3 of our life happy and the rest of the days oh, I can't wait to get to that 1/3 of our life. That's not meant to happen, right? And I want to talk to you guys about TGIT because this was an idea that I had a couple of weeks ago, right? And really, it's we walk around, we were conditioned to look for Friday. So thank God it's Friday. And, a couple of weeks ago, I had this idea that it was going to be my last TGIT, right? It was going to be the last time I would have this wiring, this thought conditioning around, thank God it's Friday. Because every day was going to be, I was moving into this choice that I worked towards and moved towards of every day being Friday, right? And so really I reframed it, I reshifted it to TGIT, right? Thank God it's today. And such an important shift, right? Because every single day we can have this choice. We can make the choice to be in gratitude. Every single day we can make that choice to really have some joy and have some play and have some fun and just have that gratitude in our day. And it doesn't have to be that we're looking for that one day of the week, right? We can always really, really enjoy it. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow may never come. Today is what you make it. Exactly. Thank you so much. Radio Control Trucker, tell me what your name is, please, too. Thank you so much for joining. So, really, really, like, starting to reshift that, right? So it's like, what can you do in your world to start to be thankful for every day, right? To start to find joy and excitement and fun and pleasure in every single day. Maybe it's just making your favorite sandwich when you go to work. Maybe it's something simple, like you have your favorite breakfast or you have your favorite sandwich for lunch. Or, maybe it's having something to look forward to. It's Jay. Awesome. I love all the Jays. Maybe it's just having something, just fun and exciting to look forward to, right? Maybe, like, it's so funny. I've been asking my girlfriend to go roller skating with me. I love movement. I really love moving my body. Like, that is, like, exercise for me is just, like, it really, really charges me. And so, mindful eating. But so I've been asking my friend to go roller skating with me because it's, like, that's such a childlike joy. And, it's like so fun, right? And I love, like, too, they play like the 80s music and it just kind of just brings in that whole fun little childlike joy. Putting a little makeup, exactly, dressing nice. It's like you get into this, like how can you add more play into it? I know it was so fun when we were kids. We used to get so excited to, at least for me, like, it was like a pleasure. It was a treat to get dressed up and put on makeup and be all fancy, right? I eat like, like a trained awesome. And just heads up, guys, I am going on vacation for about 3 weeks. 1 week is sort of like a working vacation and the next 2 weeks are pure pleasure. So I will be back in May with, like, lots of fun scopes because, like, I will be doing this a lot more in May, but I need a definite, like, after leaving my corporate job, which is really unfortunate, but I need a definite, like, recharge, right? And that's another piece to kind of bring up. It's like, with my corporate job, what I realized with the corporate job versus coaching is that coaching was so energizing for me. And so, like, if you're in a corporate job that's depleting you, that's definitely good information, right? Because in so many cases, it's not necessarily, it's a black and white thing all the time. Love you too, Jay. Thank you so much. I love you. It's not necessarily black and white. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm so excited. Like, this is so awesome. Like, it's been a long time since I've taken a 2-week hardcore vacation. Like, I'm so excited. So, but basically, finding a job that can really energize you, finding a job that you're excited about, right? And, as I was kind of making this transition, one of the other cool awarenesses that I had was, how can I, thank you so much. Thanks, Jay. Thanks so much. I was like, how can I, like, basically have no separation between vacation, life, and work. Right? So no separation, meaning everything feels like I'm on vacation, right? And I know for a lot of people that's a really, really big idea, but I just want to plant the seed because, you know what? I didn't wake up, on one day and just decide, okay, this is what I'm doing. It was a long time. I mean, it was probably every time, I'll say this about energy. So Sarah's asking about how long did you feel like your corporate job was depleting you? Truthfully, like, I've never felt in full alignment in my corporate job, right? Like, I was good at it. I was definitely good at it. It definitely had a lot of my strengths, but there was always this heaviness to it, right? And when I look at that heaviness, it was just because I wasn't in full congruence with it. And so it would always be just like, as I was doing the job, I would do it and I would do it well. I came into that job, unfortunately, the past job prior to that was also, I was in medical sales. So the past job prior to that was also, there was some conditioning around, the truth is light. Exactly. The truth is light. And there was some conditioning around, like, you can't do this and stuff. And so I kind of came into this job with, like, a really icky mindset. And it was before I had started. Hi, Daniel. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you so much. And so there was some heaviness that came in where it was like, there was some mindset stuff. And it was before, and thank you so much for inviting followers. I so appreciate that. It was before I had, it was before that I had come, into this job. I had some mindset stuff, and it was before I started working in coaching, right? So I wasn't super aware, like, I was aware that I had come in with a lot of heavy ideas about what I could and couldn't do in my medical sales job, but really, it was something I kept resisting against it, right? So I'll tell you guys a secret. This is actually a really fun thing to kind of just be aware of, but before I took the medical sales job that I ended up being in for 6 years, I actually called my dad up on the phone. So it was like a six interviews I think I had to go through. Oh, I so wish I could understand you. I think that's Greek, but I can't read it. And so basically I called my dad on the phone and I was like, Dad, I don't want to do this. Like I had that visceral gut reaction. I don't want to do this. Like I was like, Dad, I don't want to do this job. And I ended up taking it, right? Because so my other job was closing. It was basically they were shifting they were closing the department. You can absolutely accomplish anything you put your mind to. Choose how you will live your day. Absolutely. So yeah, so I have this visceral thing and I tell my dad and he's kind of like, well, you could try it. And then worst case, if you don't like it, you'll get another job. But part of, especially with medical sales, and there's a lot of jobs like this, but part of with medical sales, it was very oriented around, it was really hard to break into. And so I was in this inside sales job and I was moving into outside sales and it was just hard to break into. So I was like, all right, I will do that. I will get some good experience. And if I want to leave, I'll leave, right? So ended up doing it, obviously doing it for 6 years and really took to it because it really allowed me to have the lifestyle that I wanted, right? Because I was working from home. So all throughout that time, one of the things that I did to really shift my mindset around it is to get gratitude for the great things. Hi so much. I don't know what your name, tell me what your name is. And so I got gratitude around all that stuff, right? So basically one of the big things that I did was like focus on what was really great about my job, which was that I could make my own hours, that I had a lot of freedom, that it was giving me the lifestyle that I wanted. And so I really got focused on that. So if you're in a corporate job right now that you don't, that isn't really speaking to you or whatever, you can just whatever you can do to start to focus on the good can really, really help as you make this transition. But I didn't, I started to say, I didn't wake up one day and just all of a sudden go into coaching, right? It took me 2 years. And the biggest secret to that was really, really choosing it every single day. So really, really choosing okay, I have to I started 2 years ago moving into coaching, right? So it's literally every day, finding clients, putting it out there, working with coaches. One of the biggest secrets to making shifts is really get help, you guys. We all need help to move towards things. And so I started working with some really great coaches to really get me in, full gear. So I was ready to launch and ready to be in that, yes. Sandy, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate it. And so just really, really recognizing it, moving towards it and choosing it, right? And Daniel, one of the things that you missed was just how we look at each day of the week and what can we do. Mondays are, I was saying, basically 5 out of 7 days of the week are kind of heavy. And it's what can we do to really shift that? What can we do that we're literally, so that we're not 1/3 of our year is in joy and the rest of it's I have to go to work. So, but really all of this is okay, how can you start to move? I get that it's a big idea, right? And that's one of the things, one of my biggest strengths is big ideas, right? But it's how can you start to move into an idea where it's literally there's no separation between vacation, work, and life. It is all awesome and fun and really great, right? And getting the fact that we have to keep choosing it every day, right? So, I was telling the story a little bit around how this even came to me, right? How did the coaching come to me? And first of all, I tried a bunch of different things, right? I was really, really into fitness. And so I was putting together a fitness website. And again, that heaviness, it was not flowing, right? It was not smooth. Yes, try it. It may not be the best thing you ever do. If not, just don't do it again and try something else. Exactly. So I was trying this fitness website. I was trying to build this fitness website and I noticed it was heavy and it wasn't flowing, right? And so it didn't feel right? And so, but I put it out there. I was saying to the universe, I want something else, right? And then writing came to me, right? And I had this really awesome person that I was working with at the time that said to me, Deb, I had started moving towards it and she's like, people that love writing cannot not write. And that was not me, right? I really enjoy writing, but it was not my, I wasn't I live to write, right? And so then, basically that, so I tried 2 different things. And then basically I asked again, I said, give me a sign of what my next step is. And I just put it out into the universe. I woke up one morning and I said, give me a sign I asked first of all, give me a sign that I'm not supposed to stay in this job. And actually that day that I came home from my vacation, I was on vacation at that point. I came home from my vacation. I could not get it. We had just switched. We just got acquired by another company. I could not get into my work computer all day. So to me, that was a very clear sign. This job is done. And so then I said, what's my next step? Universe, show me what my next step is. Give me a clear sign as to what my next step was. And then basically, I think it was a few days later, I'm in a class. Some of you guys might know Jennifer McLean, but I was in a class with Jennifer McLean, and she was coaching someone, and she opened the stage up to start to, ask people for input. And totally unconsciously, I started coaching this person that was on the stage with her. And she came up to me after, thank you so much for inviting followers. I so appreciate it. So she came up to me after that, after that class. She does like healing with the master. So she's interviewed some of the spiritual leaders in the world. But, so she came up to me after the class and asked me to coach for this program that I was taking. And while I knew at the time I may or may not end up deciding to work for her program, I knew that that was such a ridiculously clear sign of like, this is my next step. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so then I just started moving towards it, and it flowed, right? So noticing the energy, I've been talking a lot about energy. I do a lot of work with energy with my clients, and it's like really, really noticing that energy when, you're in something and it feels heavy, it doesn't feel right, it's not flowing. Like, that's all good information, right? And just really, really recognizing it's like, stop taking a time to pause and stop and say, why is this not flowing right now? Why is this not working for me? And really, really doing a check-in. It's like, is this because this isn't in truth to do this, or is this because of some other reason, right? And just really, really noticing whatever that is, that's the case, right? And so, just basically to leave you with just a few things, right? TGIT, thank God it's today, like we have today. Let's enjoy it. Let's go for it. And let's choose, like, if you're not in a position, the position you want to be in, start asking for help, right? Start asking whether it's external help with coaches and working with specialists that can help you, or it's with, thank you so much for sharing. I so appreciate it. Or it's with, just asking the universe, show me what my next step is. Ask for help, guys, because it's like we all need help. We all need help to move towards our dreams. We all need help to move towards the life of our dreams. And just like the third point is just like, what can you do to basically create no separation between life, vacation, and work? Oh, hi. Thanks so much. We're closing out the scope, but thank you so much for joining. Tell me your name. I'd love, thank you so much for joining. I so appreciate it. So, those are the 3 points that I leave you with. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is DeborahAcker. I am a truth coach. I help people move towards truth in their lives. And really, I work with energy to help. A lot of times we go to change things on the outer world. So we go find a new job, we find a new relationship. What I do is I work with what's on the inside to create a whole new outer experience, right? I have tons of experience of working and breaking into different corporate jobs, advertising, sales, marketing. I mean, you name it. I've been out there. I know how to break into different things. And I will be starting soon, like a visibility when I get home from my vacation. I will be starting a visibility and sales and breaking into like a different career program, like a one-on-one coaching program with me. So thank you so much for watching. You can find out more about me at DeborahAcker.com. It's just DeborahAcker.com. And and if you feel called to work with me, I do a 30-minute complimentary discovery call. So you can find out more information about me and the coaching I do at DeborahAcker.com. And if you feel called to work with me, I do a complimentary discovery call. And after you've kind of headed over to my coaching page on my website, you can check out the discovery call at bit.ly/DebDiscoveryCall. So just bit.ly/DebDiscoveryCall. I hope this was super, super helpful for you. Thanks, Sarah. I'm so grateful for you. I hope, is it Safa or Sarah? I look like Sarah, but I might be pronouncing your name wrong. Tell me your name. But I'm so grateful for you to be here. I hope this helps every single person. I know what it's like to be there. I was there. I get it. And I'm here to support you. So anyway, Safa. Okay. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. Sorry that I was trying to look like Sarah, obviously in the small screen. But any way that you guys, I can support you at all. I know what it's like. I've been there, and I want to help you guys. We all are truly meant to live a life that we are truly excited about. That's so cool. Thanks for joining us from Beirut. And so, any which way that I can help you guys live a life that you guys are really excited about, because life is meant to be exciting. We're on this roller coaster that we call life. Woo, put your hands up and enjoy it, right? So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, have a great day and a great rest of your week. And I will look forward to seeing you when I'm back. Thanks so much, if not sooner.